Good evening to you, and welcome to the Support Our Heroes webcast. All of this to support the Airpower Foundation. I'm Doug Dunbar, and honored to host and to support Airpower and their mission once again. So if you don't know, for 20 years I've been anchoring our local news here at CBS News Texas and Dallas-Fort Worth. I have also been honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for the wonderful event that we call Sky Ball, which has found a wonderful home at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Tonight, going to be a little bit different, a little bit of a different twist on our event with the very same consistent goal, and that is to share with each of you the amazing work the Airpower Foundation continues to do for our servicemen and women and their families. During this program right here, you're going to see some wonderful highlights of some of the events of the past and what the Airpower Foundation continues to do in our community. The Airpower Foundation's mission is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Support our military members and their families, from our nation's Gold Star families to education outreach, from providing mobility devices to the injured to funding scholarships for our very young people with the hope that they will continue in the spirit of giving back, and just overall military appreciation. Sometimes we take for granted the opportunities that we have here in this country. So this next hour is designed for all of us to sit back, relax, and see and hear some of the stories behind what makes this such a great organization that supports our veterans and their families who protect this great nation. With that, what do you say we kick things off tonight with a look back at some of the best moments of the last 25 years of service from the Airpower Foundation. And what a great 25 years it has been. We are here tonight not only to celebrate what has been, but to also look forward to what will be, to help us all reflect on our path and shine a light on where we will venture next. My pleasure now to introduce a message from the chairperson of the Airpower Foundation herself, Miss Wanda Cox.
Thank you so much, Doug, for that great introduction. All volunteer board would like to thank you for joining us tonight for our first ever Support Our Heroes online event. Tonight showcases the great programs we're able to support year-round in our military community through our sponsors and donors. The pillars you hear about directly impact our military families. This has been a tough year for nonprofits and fundraising, so we're just asking you to give what you can. This is always my favorite time of the year because we're able to honor our military and our veterans through our premier fundraising gala, Sky Ball, held at Globe Life Field. Sky Ball showcases our mission in action and how the donations have a direct impact. If you have any favorite memories of your Sky Balls that you've been to, throw them in the chat. We're just going to have a lot of fun tonight. And I'm excited to celebrate the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps' 250th birthdays next year with all of you at Sky Ball. So enjoy the evening. Make sure you follow us on our socials so you're the first to know about the dates for all of our events that are upcoming starting in January. Thank you so much again for being here. And I'm going to throw this right back to our dear friend and our Master of Ceremonies tonight, Doug Dunbar.
Wanda, first of all, thank you. And let me add to what Wanda said in part of her speech that even though we are not able to be together in person this year, I look forward to seeing each of you at Globe Life Field next fall at our premier fundraising event, Sky Ball. This next moment, pretty near and dear to my heart, a chance to honor those who have paid the ultimate price for this country and for our freedoms, the fallen. If you don't know, I happen to grow up a Gold Star son. My father, Clarence Wilson Dunbar, was a Sergeant First Class in the United States Army, served in both Korea and the Vietnam Wars. And like so many others, my dad didn't get to come home alive. I was just coming up on 6 years of age when it all happened. In the recent past, I flew to where we buried him, just to be there, just for a day. It was a pretty healing moment for me, for sure, but it's funny because here we sit over 5 decades later, and it is still hard to be a Gold Star kid. It's still very real, so long down the road. Just as hard as it must be to be any Gold Star family member, for that matter. So I sit here blessed to have a stage and a voice to say and honor my dad's name. And not a day goes by that I don't think about that, but not a day goes by that we don't think about all of our fallen heroes and the legacy of sacrifice and service before self that they leave for all of us. The Airpower Foundation holds the relationship that we have with the American Fallen Soldiers Project very dear. Artist Phil Taylor and his wife Lisa have made it their mission to paint and present a custom oil portrait for the families of our fallen. I've watched him personally for years, and there is no doubt that Phil's magnificent talent captures some of the most meaningful parts of the spirit of a fallen service member, works of meaningful art that he presents to the families. Let's now take a look back at Skyball 20, where Phil honored Navy Ensign Timothy Guana.
Guys do some evil things, and 17 guys died, and Tim was one of those. So it's a pleasure to bring up the family. 2 of the guys that were on the USS Cole, if you don't mind, come on stage. Tim's a little different. 22 years ago, he'd be 44 years old today. So with that said, here he is, the best I could do for Navy IT, Timothy Guana. Will you take that box, Carlos? There he is. Go ahead, family. Turn her on. You can check him out. He's a cutie. He was an enjoyment to spend all those hours with. You know, you're by yourself with these guys, and the standard is high. So it takes sleepless nights and long hours, but it's all worth it for that, what we see right there. They'll get prints and whatever they need for the entire family.
Wow, what a powerful, moving moment that was. Thank you again, Phil and Lisa Taylor, for all that you do throughout the many years you have supported our Gold Star families. We just cannot thank you enough for your continued support and dedication. My name is Melissa Dobby, and I'm the new Executive Director for the Airpower Foundation. It is such an honor and a privilege to be part of this amazing team who work so hard and are so committed to helping our military and our veterans. We have so many opportunities for you to be involved in the Airpower Foundation in support of our military and our veterans. As we move into the next portion of our night, I want to talk just a moment about our local base and some of the morale and welfare programs. Guys, it's so important that we're able to provide opportunities for our military to come together, for our families to come together. And we do that through family days. We do that through turkey giveaways. Guys, we were able to give away 300 turkeys this year, and that will feed a family for 7 days. Wow, and that's not because of anything we've done, it's because of you. We have programs throughout the year, whether it be after school programs or summer programs, or even through the holidays, really throughout the year. So if you're not part of our newsletter, please go to our website and click newsletter and sign up so you can learn more about how you can be involved and learn about our programs. And we have a special opportunity tonight. I'm so excited about it because of our friends at Colonial Fort Worth. They have generously given us an opportunity to raise $10,000. So they're going to match dollar for dollar up to $10,000. So all you have to do is click that donate button and just follow the instructions. You know, every dollar counts. Whether it's $10, $20, or maybe you're like, you know, I'm going to give that $1,000. You can do that tonight by just clicking that donate button and really providing that support that our military and our veterans need. And honestly, they deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Melissa, and a big welcome to the Airpower Foundation. We know that you will lead us to even bigger, greater success. Another one of our pillars at Airpower Foundation is to provide mobility devices to our injured service members and their families. So each year, Airpower raises the funding to provide a mobility device through the Robert Irvine Foundation to give the gift of independence to one of our heroes. A moment now to look back at how the Airpower Foundation, along with Chef Robert Irvine, for the first time in our history, gave a mobility device to a military child. His name is Brody Bell. He was the son of Specialist First Class Michael Bell. Here once again, Chef Irvine.
I'd like to share a story of resilience, love, and hope. The story of the Bell family. Specialist First Class Michael Bell, a two-time combat veteran and a U.S. Army recruiter at Conroe Recruiting Station. He's also a proud husband to Sarah and a father of 2 children, Brody and Lily. Stay focused. His family is here with us tonight to receive a special gift, a gift of independence. The Airpower Foundation and the Robert Irvine Foundation have provided many iBot mobility devices to severely injured veterans over the years of our partnership. Today, I and we are very excited to announce this year's providing an iBot to a military child for the first time, Brody Bell. At the age of 3 years old, Brody was diagnosed with a rare form of muscular dystrophy known as Duchenne. This marked the beginning of his journey, and a long one, I might add. The Bells sought answers and hope at Scottish Rite and later at Children's Dallas. It was at that point that the medical professionals informed the family that Brody would be in a wheelchair by the age of 6. Think about that. And take a moment to pause that thought. Most boys with this disease don't live past the age of 12 years old. The Bell's focus was keeping Brody healthy and positive. He has friends that participated in the Boy Scouts, and while there are moments of frustration, Brody has always remained positive. And I think that's a trait that the family has. This weekend, before Brody's 13th birthday, the family contracted COVID. Amid the illness and seemingly minor incidents, turned into life-altering events. Life-altering events. COVID. Brody tripped, severely injuring his leg. He lost the ability to walk from that moment forward. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is not only imposes the physical burden, but also presents an unbelievable, significant financial challenge to the families. Out-of-pocket costs for managing this condition amount to approximately $40,000 a year. The Bells have slowly been preparing for this transition to an electric wheelchair, home renovations to make their house accessible, and lots of other changes to improve Brody's quality of life. However, they were not prepared for this sudden adjustment. Michael and Sarah maintain a side business to offset some of the costs of covering the insurance needs. But what Brody truly desires is something that we all love, and it's called independence. Independence. Brody has a bright future. He is a friend and a brother to everyone he meets, which is an amazing character and a human being. This gift will make Brody's life a lot easier and lessen the pain and frustration that he feels sometimes at night or when he's alone. We all believe in the power of community, and we brought this. And where's Greg? Is Greg here? Greg Ulmer? Where's Greg? Come here, Greg. I don't care where you are. I'm not going off script. I don't care. I can't. It's my show right now. Where's Greg? Greg Ulmer from Lockheed Martin. And Karen Morris from the Texas Rangers baseball. Here we are. You're a little slow there, people. So, here we are. Happy to provide this iBot to Brody so he can achieve the independence and mobility that he so desperately desires, and the ability that he absolutely deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, I want this house to rock and roar, and if it does not, I will beat every one of you up. This is a human that's gone through so much stress and deserves this iBot thanks to these amazing people. I want to introduce the amazing Mr. Brody Bell. This is what your money does. This iBot, just so you know. Go up, do what you do. Yes, there you go. This iBot costs $50,000. And if it wasn't for your generosity to the Airpower Foundation, Robert Irvine Foundation, Lockheed, and of course, the amazing Texas Rangers, we couldn't do this. How does that feel, having this wheelchair to you, Brody?
I'm ready to stand up for myself.
This is restoring independence, and one of the biggest things for anybody in the military knows is when somebody does this to talk to you. Brody can now go over rough terrain, go up and down stairs. It does it on its own. He just has to hold one hand. This is what the Airpower Foundation, this is what the Robert Irvine Foundation, this is what we are doing to change lives. So every dollar you give makes this possible to restore livelihood. So thank you very much. Where's Doug? Doug, come out here. Say something. You want to say something? It's your show. We're all about you.
All right, I'm kind of nervous, but I would like to thank all of you for coming here. And I would like to thank you, Chef, for coming here too. And
It's okay. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Brody.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cameron McNutt. At the Airpower Foundation, our education outreach is one of our core pillars. Every year, we host a speaker series at local DFW schools where we bring Medal of Honor recipients, former prisoners of war, and other distinguished heroes to inspire the next generation of young Americans. Just 2 years ago, along with our director, Donna Snow King, a great committee that I have the privilege to sit on, we launched the Rodeo Royalty Ambassador Program. Our reigning sweetheart, princess, and queen serve as ambassadors for the Airpower Foundation at all of the different events that the Airpower Foundation hosts and are invited to support as they spread the word about our mission and support our heroes. A part of our Rodeo Royalty program is having our court and visiting court interview our distinguished heroes before our premier event. These young women learn firsthand what it means to serve and sacrifice for our country. Visiting Royalty Carson sat down with Mr. Dave Reaver, Purple Heart recipient, who talks about Operation Warrior Reconnect and the thousands of military service members who have been through his program. Additionally, in the following segment, Ashley, our reigning queen, was able to speak face-to-face with Medal of Honor recipient Jim Taylor as he speaks about his visits to the area high schools to offer education to those students regarding service and sacrifice and inspiring the future of our country. Please enjoy the following videos.
Hey y'all, I'm Carson Nolan. I'm here with Dave Reavert.
I'm glad to be with you, Carson. What a treat. And you're just beautiful. Look at you.
Well, thank
what
you.
What a great outfit.
Thank you. So I heard a little bit about what you're doing now. Do you want to share a little bit of that? And
Sure.
How you got into it?
Yeah, it's called Operation Warrior Reconnect. Now you have to understand, I've had a 501c3 since 1982, I think. So I didn't get into the, quote, ministry with the war, with the 9/11 event. I was already involved since 1982. Well, actually, I started speaking publicly when I was 16 years old. Oh. And so my injury was just an interruption to that for a little while. But whenever the war started on 2001, September 11th, I called an Air Force general, Air Combat Command out of Langley, and his XO, who was a very, very dear friend, whose brother was on my board for years. I called him Bruce Wright, better known as, they lovingly call him Orville Wright, 3-star Lieutenant General. I said, I'm going to do something for our troops. I don't want them treated like Vietnam veterans were treated when we came home. I said, what's your advice, General? He said, take them out of the marketplace, out of the institution, out of the installation, out of hotels, get them into the wilderness and a beautiful place where they can decompress and break down some of the issues that are in their lives through separation from all that noise. So I took his advice and I built 2 ranches, but my first one was in Colorado. And it's way up in the mountains, about 9,000 feet. It's a beautiful place called Eagle Summer Ranch. And Operation Warrior Reconnect cooperates with DOD, Department of Defense. And throughout the entire duration of the war until it ended, and I spoke for the last 9/11 commemoration in Kabul, Afghanistan. Until that day, I traveled throughout the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, UAE, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Bosnia, Kosovo, North Africa, South Korea, all over the world. If they have troops, they send me, DOD sends me, as a resiliency trainer in the Comprehensive Soldier Fitness Program. That said, I had a compassion that was driven by passion to not let those boys get hurt like my friends were coming out of that war in Vietnam. And I kept that promise to myself and to those warriors. And thousands and thousands and thousands have come through my program. I'm not exaggerating a word. And we have been able to see the healing of the brokenness of their lives, and marriages restored and renewed. And guys who thought it was over, it's not over. Guys like Shiloh Harris, who's here, his face was blown off, ears blown off, burned horribly, fingers blown apart. And yet, he came through my program. He's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet in your life. And today I got to see him again. And it renews my passion, because we're successful in what we do, not because of who I am, but because of whose I am.
Yes.
So there's your answer. It's a little bit long, but that's the answer.
Well, that's awesome. If you had one message to the world, what would it be?
Never, ever quit. Don't ever quit. It just is not in my nature to quit. And I've been tempted to a few times, but I never have. Until my last heartbeat, my last breath. Winston Churchill's credited with the greatest speech he ever gave, was the shortest one, in a school for boys in England. And his message was never, never, never give up. And I want that to be my message, that you just don't quit. That's what I want to say to these guys that get hurt. And right now, we're on the brink of a lot of guys getting hurt without intervention from God. We're going down a terrible path. It's going to lead to war. And Beth Ann and I are ready to step up to the challenge and take it on, because together we're going to change our world.
Yes. Well, it was an honor to talk with you today. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your service. And it really is a blessing.
Thank you, Ms. Carson. I'm happy to meet you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure, sweetheart.
Nice to meet you.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Ashley Frank, and I'm here with Medal of Honor recipient Jim Taylor. So you talked about visiting high schools and talking to the younger generation. What experience have you shared with them and with the Medal of Honor?
Well, basically, when they introduce us to the high school, they tell them about our actions of what we have done. And my goal when I go out and talk to the kids is to make sure they understand where they stand in life right now, today, and how they're going to get to the next step. And I keep bringing back love, because it's so important. Love is something that a lot of people forget. And respect everybody around you. And you can't walk the path of life all by yourself. Sometime down the road, you might think you can, but you're going to find out you're going to fail. So my message is for them is set the goals early, have a dream, have a desire, and through determination, dedication, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
So my message to these young kids, I want them to be the best person they can be.
Yeah, definitely. Have you had any of the kids from the high school or anyone that you've met come up to you and say something or tell you something that really had an impact on you?
Yes. In fact, a young man yesterday, I forget the name of the high school, he came up and he wanted to talk about the state of this country.
Oh, wow.
And I've never had a student ask me about what I felt about this, the state of the country. So I told him, I said, after we finish, let's talk. And I was really surprised how much that young fella was involved in finding out about the country and how he and his family and others can improve it.
Yeah.
So that was wonderful.
Well, Mr. Taylor, I'd love to thank you for your time and your sacrifice, and I really enjoyed talking with you today. And
well, thank you very much, and God bless you. And you, like I said, you're going to move forward to a different world, but with a positive attitude, you can make it happen.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
What an absolute and amazing opportunity for these young women to interview such amazing heroes. Many believe a country is only as strong as the military that supports it. Here in the United States, it's even more heartwarming when you understand that ours is an all-volunteer military force, comprised of those citizens who step up to say, I'm ready to be a part of the future of this great nation. Our military is strengthened by the resolve of every young man and young woman who have chosen to raise their right hand and take the oath to serve, to protect and defend all of us. And taking that oath, that's been a staple and a highlight at many Skyball events Let's take a quick look back at one of those oath of enlistments that we got to watch in person with the oath administered by Medal of Honor recipient General Patrick Brady.
At ease, guys. You know, America has no kings or queens, we got no dukes or duchesses, but we do have a nobility. America's nobility is called veterans. They answered the call. These young people are about to answer the call. They are joining America's nobility. Now, there's going to be a few haircuts before that happens. You all know that, right? Now, we know that if it is true that the greatest love is that love which causes one to lay down their life for another, then we also know that the next greatest love is to put yourself in a position where that may happen. These young people are about to do just that. Now, all you veterans out there, if you can, on your feet, suck it in for God's sakes. Mike, Doc, do you hear that? Attention to order, guys. Come to attention. Can you guys come to attention? Let me see it. Yeah, that's not bad, not bad. All right, I want you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. God bless you guys. Welcome to America's nobility. You gonna march them out?
Doesn't that make you feel so proud? Those young men and women just give me hope for the future. Before we continue, though, I do want to take a moment to thank our many sponsors and our volunteers that support the Airpower Foundation mission. Without our great patriots like you, our mission simply wouldn't happen. Again, a special thank you to the Colonial Fort Worth for giving us the opportunity for match donations on this broadcast for up to $10,000. That's very exciting. Now, the Airpower Foundation is so proud to have such great relationships with our Medal of Honor recipients. You've heard tonight from two of our nation's heroes, Jim Taylor and General Pat Brady. It's my privilege and honor to introduce another Medal of Honor recipient, Florent Flo Groberg. Flo is a French-American Army captain who was awarded the Medal of Honor in November of 2015 for his actions in Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Flo Groberg.
I lost my purpose. I was at my lowest. But then on November 12th, 2012, my door kicked in. And a guy with no limbs walked in, Travis Mills. Y'all probably heard of Travis Mills. In a few minutes, he rewired me. He reminded me of my purpose as an American, as a soldier, as a leader, and he told me that I had a story to go out there and tell to motivate others to share their stories. I'll never forget that moment because in just 15 minutes, he gave me a glimpse of light in a very dark place, and he reminded me of my purpose on this world. And for the rest of my life, I made a promise that every day that I wake up, I will look at this damn bracelet, and I'm going to live my day to the best of my abilities, no longer complaining about my situation because people died for me, because my brothers died for me, because so many individuals who come from all sorts of backgrounds, different skin colors, religious preferences, sexual preferences, educational backgrounds, all that stuff, they decided to come to one spot together and be one unit, put all the differences aside, and deploy thousands of miles away and be willing to die for each other. We learn how to love each other. And that's something that I will never forget. The United States military is all about resiliency because it represents our country. And there's one thing I know for sure, is that if you attack the United States of America, if you pick a fight with the United States of America, you might knock us down. That's okay, because we're going to get right back up, my friend. And I promise you, the day we get back up, we will become your worst living nightmare because of our people. I had a teammate that day in the hospital who helped me. Not all of us do, especially when we leave the service. But we have teammates out here, like the Airpower Foundation, and every single individual that are willing to support, to go out there and support those individuals that need it the most. You can't do it alone. Just like anything else, you only do it with a team. So God bless you. God bless the new state of Texas. I'm a new resident. And God bless the United States of America. Cool. Rangers, lead the way.
An extraordinarily inspiring message from a wonderful human being, Captain Groberg. Flo, thank you very much for your service to this great nation and for your ongoing continued support of the Airpower Foundation. I hope you have enjoyed this broadcast. And if you haven't yet, please consider making a donation. All you have to do is use the donation button that is right on this page. Our sincere thanks to the Colonial for being our matching sponsor tonight for this event. And a big thanks to all of our corporate sponsors for your support of the Airpower Foundation, which does so much to support our military, our veterans, and their families. And another big thanks goes to each of you for joining us tonight and for supporting Airpower and all it means from all corners of the world. We could not do this without you. Before we get to a wonderful video tribute to say so long tonight, it is, though, my honor to introduce to you a local hero who I've been blessed to know and have admired for years. To sing us out with his heartfelt version of God Bless America, the former World War II Marine flamethrower who survived the battle on Iwo Jima, Mr. Don Graves.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Don. That was good.